Good evening. Welcome to the April 6th, 2026 meeting of the Stillwater City Council. At this time, I will call the meeting to order, and I'll ask that you all stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First up tonight, under proclamations and presentations, I'm going to invite Dawn Dodson up to give us an introduction to our OSU art student Chris Salmon Plaza mural project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We, again this year, have great leadership from OSU Art, Megan with Prairie Arts, and some incredible students who have designed mural options for Chris Salmon Plaza. As you know, this has been a project that we've worked on for several years, and this is our final mural to finish up that sequence before we start all over again. So the artists this evening are Jake Warner, Paige Randall, Cariana Villarreal, and they're joined by the leadership with OSU. And we're going to watch a video. Do you have anything to add before we watch the video?
Just thank you guys for continuing to support this opportunity for our students. We appreciate it.
Yep. And we'll call up the students right after we watch the video.
Howdy, my name is Jake Warner. I am currently a junior at Oklahoma State University, and I have a minor in studio arts, which gave me the privilege of working on this mural. My design is a Dharma, which is my main focus. I'll get back to that later. My mural design, I wanted to highlight the relationship between Kamioka and Stillwater. To try to tell the story of this sisterhood, I needed a focal point to tie the two cities together. That story came from a certain gift from the Kamioka Junior High School, Taisei. That gift, as I mentioned, was a Dharma. A Dharma is a traditional Japanese doll with a round shape and a bearded-looking face. In Japanese culture, Dharmas are used to symbolize goals and achievements. Someone would color in the left eye of a Dharma when they set a goal. After the goal is achieved, they would color in the right eye. The gifted Dharma from Taisei had its left eye colored in by the principal of Stillwater High School at the time, Mr. Mills. He colored it in when he and a Stillwater group visited Kamioka. April of the next year, the Taisei students visited Stillwater, coloring in the right eye. On the chest of this Dharma is the Japanese word for friendship, yoko. This Dharma is a symbol of the bond formed between the two cities, which is why I placed it in the middle of my mural. On the outsides of my mural, swirling into the Dharma, are the attributes of each city. I chose the attributes that best highlighted the similarities between the sister cities. Kamioka side is swirling onto the right eye of the Dharma, while the Stillwater side is swirling into the left eye. The first swirls represent the flower that were used to illustrate the sisterhood. The Bradford pear blossom for Stillwater and the cherry blossom for Kamioka. The next swirl is the trees for each flower. After the trees, hills of shogun turnips and wheat are depicted, comparing the agriculture of both cities. On these hills are blue and orange tents, representing major cultural events important to the city's history. Kamioka is the Hozugawa Fireworks Festival, a festival celebrating the culture of the town and world peace. Stillwater's is Oklahoma State's homecoming, an event that involves the local businesses of the city and celebrates the community of Stillwater. To finish the swirls are Oklahoma State bird, the scissortail flycatcher, and the red-crowned crane representing Japan and Kamioka. These birds have been used, especially the red-crowned crane, to personify the two nations in the sister cities' relationship. At the top and bottom of the mural, the architecture of Kamioka, which is on the top, and Stillwater, which is on the bottom, are depicted. Behind the horizon of these buildingscapes are the identical Old Central, a Stillwater building that has been recreated perfectly in Kamioka. I really wanted to highlight these similarities between the two cities to continue to tell the story of the promise we made through the Dharma. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Hi, my name is Paige Randall. I'm a freshman here at Oklahoma State University. I'm from Kingston, Arkansas, and I'm majoring in graphic design. For my design, I wanted to focus on symbolism as well as representing the sister city relationship between Kamioka and Stillwater. Some things that stood out to me while doing research on Kamioka was their sense of community and love for flowers. Just in front of City Hall in Kamioka, there are cherry blossom trees, which were planted by Tomo Seno, who is well known for his cherry blossom garden there. I wanted to incorporate this tree and its flowers into my design as a way to help represent the meaning it has for Kamioka as well as the Japanese culture. In doing so, using an amplified perspective, I wanted to capture the illusion of movement with falling cherry blossom petals. As I continued my research, I noticed a particular flower that was often used, the bellflower. It historically remarked as an autumn flower, as well as representing the changing of seasons. This purple flower can be found in the Kamioka official Instagram page as well as on the clothes of the Kamioka turtle mascot. I incorporated this into my design along with the Japanese fan as a way to help represent Kamioka's love for flowers. As for Stillwater's and Kamioka's sister city relationship, which was established in 1985, I found it really interesting how Kamioka was so interested in Stillwater. Kamioka has a replica of Old Central built to celebrate and honor the sister city relationship, which is why I felt the need to incorporate it into my design, to hopefully bring a connection to people in Stillwater or the viewers, while also reminding us of the unique relationship we have with Kamioka. Another key element in my design to help represent this relationship is the Japanese fan with both Stillwater and Kamioka's official emblems side by side. I wanted this element to stand out as well as blend in, so using an amplified perspective, I gave it a hovering position to gain attention to the city flowers and the symbolism that it holds. For me, in the making of this process, it was not easy. I really wanted to capture elements within the design that represented Kamioka as well as the sister city relationship. And with the research and elements that I incorporated into my final design, I hope the viewers are able to either make a connection or gain curiosity to further their knowledge about the sister city relationship, or at least gain some delight in seeing it. I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come up with a design, as well as giving me a chance as an out-of-state student to learn more about the city of Stillwater. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Karyana Villarreal. I am a freshman at Oklahoma State University and I am studying studio art. Kamioka is a city that is rich in both culture and beautiful scenery. During my research on Kamioka, I loved searching for and exploring the many kinds of scenery the city had to offer. From the enchanting Hozugawa River and its surrounding forest-covered mountains, to the fog terrace where you can gaze across the top of the entire city, Kamioka is filled with extraordinary sights. The part of our sister city bond with Kamioka that stood out to me the most was our student exchange programs. I loved how inclusive each country was to the other and how they allowed the sister city bond to grow along with the newer generations. With this exchange of culture and experience in mind, I wanted to create a piece that would stand for the theme of connectedness in similar environments. For my composition, I chose to utilize a top view of a pond or river-like environment, where two turtles and some foliage are present. One of the turtles swims while the other watches and observes from above, both simultaneously sharing the same environment in harmony. I chose to create this environment because of two very similar aspects of both Kamioka and Stillwater. One being the fact that both sister cities have an abundant number of small bodies of water, such as lakes and ponds, and the other being that turtles are common wildlife in both of these regions. Plus, who doesn't love turtles? It took a couple of different designs and a lot of trial and error until I was finally happy with the playful composition that I was trying to achieve. I subtly tried to place both the state of Oklahoma and the city of Kamioka within the composition to tie these two regions to the mural, while still keeping the immersion on the turtles and the environment. Turtles may seem like a random design choice at first, until we stop to consider what the name of Kamioka really means. Kamioka directly translates to Turtle Hill in Japanese, and the name of the city was inspired by its surrounding shape and geology. With this information in mind, I decided I would incorporate this into the mural. I found the turtle species from both Stillwater and Kamioka and placed them together to show how we easily bond with and live amongst our sister city of Kamioka, especially throughout the student exchange program, of which I hope will remain throughout the years.
At this time, we'll welcome the students and OSU art leadership up, and Megan and Mayor and Council and City Manager, if you guys have anything to share, please do so.
Well, those were fantastic.
Yeah.
All of them are great. We're so appreciative of the work that you all have done for this project. And this theme in particular is really special. Brady and I both had the opportunity to travel to Kamioka last year for the anniversary of this relationship. And those are all just really good encapsulations of the relationship and so many themes that we saw. The turtle is a big symbol used throughout Kamioka. I think we both have souvenirs that are turtles from those folks, and so really appreciate the work and really the whole art program. The murals in Chris Salmon Plaza are always a hit. I take family by there, and they're always love that we've been able to continue that and can keep doing it into the future. So thanks so much for the work that you've done on these. I really hope we can take the video and share it. I would love to share that with our friends in Kamioka. I know Mayor Katsuragawa would love to see the explanations and the art themselves. So we'd love to share that with our folks over there. Oh, good. Excellent.
I told them to wait until.
Excellent. Good deal.
Yes, they have.
Anybody else?
I just love all the different perspectives that everybody had, and looking at it, all of them were just fabulous and just very different from each other. So just appreciate you all's creative minds and your artistic ability.
And you're all freshmen, right?
I think we both are, but the other guy, Jake, he is a junior.
In any case, wow.
Now, I love this partnership, and I'm delighted that we're continuing it. The opportunity to give students the ability to design projects for the city. They're going to be on display, have this public work, and be part of the public arts what we're trying to do here in Stillwater anyway. I'm excited about the designs. They're all terrific. I can't wait to see which one gets chosen. And thanks to all of you for the work you've done.
I'm glad I don't have to be the one choose.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your talents and your creativity with us. It was wonderful just to hear your insights and the work that you put in, the intention that you put into the art and compositions that you created. It is also one of my favorite places downtown to know that our students are giving back to our community in this way. It's a beautiful spot in our community, and thank you again.
All right. Yep. Thank you all.
We would like to invite everyone to the unveiling of the mural on April 24th at 1 p.m. in Chris Salmon Plaza, and we have a special appreciation for...
I just wanted to say thank you to our Kamioka board and everybody who helped. The students actually got to meet with them and talk to them, and several of them took special time out to show them all the relics that we have over at the community center. Especially Stephanie Kinder came up with this idea, and so I just wanted to say thank you about that too as well. So
Absolutely.
Please come out and see the reveal.
Yes.
Thank you.
Guys, so much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Stephanie, and Ms. Petrie back there. Thank you all for being part of this project. All right, counselors, that takes us to the consent docket. Questions, comments, or action on the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. Next we'll move down to public hearings. Item 7. 7A has received public comment regarding a request for a map amendment to rezone property addressed as 3398 North Jardo Road from general industrial to small lot single family residential, CC-26-56. Did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Biebelheimer.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilors. My name is Henry Biebelheimer with Development Services, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about the rezoning at 3398 North Jardo Road. This property is requesting a rezone from general industrial to RSS, or small lot single family residential. Some context on this lot is we're actually looking at two different rezonings. The first one we're looking at tonight is to RSS, which is that pink portion. Let's just go ahead and get the laser pointer out. It's this pink portion on the northern part of this lot. We're also going to hear a rezoning request for the southern portion, which is this green. That's going to be to RTM, residential two-family, multifamily. This is all for one residential development where they're proposing single-family homes, and then in that green portion, they're proposing some duplexes and townhomes. So that's the context that we're looking at this in. Here's the aerial view. The property we're looking at is outlined in pink. It's just south of the southeast corner of Airport and Jardot. The property right now is zoned IG, or general industrial. That same zoning is to the north and to the west. To the south, we have RT, which is residential two-family, which is for a duplex development to the south of the project. And to the east is white, as it's outside of city limits. Here's the future land use map, which does call for moderate density residential at this location. To explain moderate density residential, in the comprehensive plan, there was this matrix that's used for each of the land use classifications to kind of guide rezonings like this. So when we look at the single family homes, that's the very top category we're looking at right here, which would be RSS, small lot single family. It's a 3 out of 5 on the appropriateness scale, and the considerations to take into account is it's appropriate on small lots. RSS is our small lot single family zoning, so this is in alignment with the comprehensive plan. And I'm open to answer any questions if you have any.
Counselors, any questions for staff? Thank you, Henry. This time I will open the public hearing. Do we have anyone here signed up? Come on up.
Thank you all. I'm Caleb Smith with Craft & Toll on behalf of the applicant. My address is 300 Point Parkway Boulevard in Yukon, Oklahoma. I'd like to appreciate just Henry and his remarks so far. I'd just like to reiterate a few things. So the first track that we're looking at rezoning is into the RSS from general industrial, is a downzoning from what it is currently. The current land from the aerial is vacant, and then also to the north is vacant, and it's all zoned as general industrial. And then to the east is outside of city limits, and that's Payne County. And then to the south is White Barn Estates, and those are some duplexes, and they're zoned with a PUD residential two-family. And then again to the west is zoned industrial and is actually being used as general industrial. There are two businesses there right now, Cedar Creek Farms, which does mostly materials recycling and a lot of greenery recycling, like trees and brush. And then also a Delisi concrete mix plant that's up there further to the north of Cedar Creek Farms. So just to run you through a few quick numbers and how this property and this rezoning conforms with your comprehensive plan. The north portion is about 36.9 acres. We have a layout that has 98 lots, and that comes out to about 2.6 dwelling units per acre. That's on the low end of the moderate residential. And so using the multifamily or the townhome there on the southern portion does bring that number up to be closer to your 10 to 14 dwelling units that you're aiming for. And so I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you have. I'll be up again to discuss the next item as well, but it'll generally be the same discussion. So I'd be happy to answer any questions from here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, counselors?
Well, let me ask this question, because you're going to be cramming homes right next to industrial, right? And so at some point down the road, is council going to start getting complaints about noise and other stuff going on the industrial side that was there first?
Right. So thank you for bringing that up. I do know that we did discuss some of the landscape screening, and then also during the planning commission, there was another gentleman who was worried about if people would even want to live in these units. And our developer has gone through, and they have been very successful so far in putting together homes and putting together neighborhoods that are successful. And so we think that people will be happy to live here in this development. And as far as how the landscape screening goes, I have had some time to look back at the code and how it works. So just with the general zoning, it would be it would just fall back to your base screening. So there would be there is some sort of screening requirement, and that would come probably when building permits are pulled for the general industrial. So, but as it stands right now, there is, and going back to this aerial, there's about 200 to 300 feet or so of open space before you even start looking at any industrial building. And so based on that, our client and I certainly feel like this will be a good product, and it fills in this vacant land that the city is looking to rezone from general industrial back down to residential single family, and then also later the two family multifamily. Yes.
We're talking about the farther north plot.
Yes.
Okay.
For this discussion item.
I'm going to ask
Yes,
you a
the
question
pink
about
plot.
the south one. Well, I'll just ask you now. There's a road to the south of this White Barn Estates development.
Yes, sir.
Running Bear Street, basically dead ends as it hits the south edge of this property. Is that going to connect? I would love for that to connect.
So our layout, when we went through this initially with staff, we had a concept that did connect, and then after we went back through it, and this is something that we can get to, further down the road with platting.
Yeah.
And certainly street layouts are more of a platting discussion, but we did have a layout that had that connection, and then we decided to go back to one that didn't have that connection, just because sometimes the residents, especially to the south, may not want the connection, and so there's different points of view there. So
yeah, well,
we'll definitely
you're
be
right that
able
it's
to
not
address
a matter necessarily for the zoning, but I think from a just an overall planning perspective, the more points of ingress and egress to properties like this, I really am opposed to us continuing to build these subdivisions that have one spot you go in and one spot you go out, and they don't connect to each other, and you can't get from one to the other. I mean, when we had fires here a year ago, thinking about how do people get out of neighborhoods and they all kind of congregate and have to get out one or two spots out, I would love to see them connect. It's not really a matter for this hearing. I'm just throwing that out there for y'all's consideration as we go forward, because having these neighborhoods connect, I think, is an important safety feature, is an important just planning feature, so that these are all continuous pieces of our community and not these just little islands out there on their own.
yes,
Just
I do
just my 2
appreciate
cents.
that. And then to add to that, as far as the connectivity goes within the development, we are planning definitely 2 entrances, and we did have a meeting previously, just looking forward to the preliminary plat, getting some staff comments, and I believe a member of the fire department was on, and they did look at the connectivity, and seeing that we had 2 different entrances that would be able to access, they did seem to appreciate that. So
Okay.
I did know, I wanted to add that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilors, further questions? Appreciate it, sir.
Awesome. Thank you all.
I don't know if anyone else signed up for this public hearing. Was there anyone else here that was planning to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Henry, was there a recommendation from the Planning Commission on this?
Yes, sir. On March 3rd, 2026, Planning Commission voted 4-0 to recommend that City Council approve the proposed map amendment.
Thanks, sir. Councilors,
I move approval of the Planning Commission recommendation.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, that recommendation is approved. That takes us to item 7B, which is to receive public comment regarding a request for a map amendment to rezone property addressed as 3020 North Jardo Road from general industrial to 2-family and multifamily district, CC-26-57. Did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, we do.
Henry?
Yes, sir. So this is the second half of that project we just discussed, 3020 North Gardeau, which is just south of the parcel that was just rezoned to RSS. As we discussed, this is the green parcel that would be rezoning to RTM, residential 2-family, multifamily. Moderate density residential, same comp plan. For this one, we're going to look at the missing middle housing. Just as a quick run through, missing middle is basically everything in between single family housing and your large apartment complex. Everything in between there would be considered the missing middle. As duplexes and townhomes are proposed, that would fall within that, which is very appropriate for the moderate density residential. I'm open to answer any questions if you have any.
Councilors, any questions for Henry? I will just take a second and reiterate my comment about the connectivity of neighborhoods, which I hope we can figure out a way to do. I also just generally have a question. These 2 parcels that map is like a weird shaped. I assume that's just the way they are at this point.
Yes, sir.
It seems like I don't like the division between single family and 2-family seems odd that we would follow those same lines. Have they considered actually just redrawing the lot lines and making it more?
Yeah, I appreciate you pointing that out. It was supposed to be in my presentation. Forgot to say that part. The applicant did go through a minor subdivision process to create these two parcels.
Oh, okay.
So they created the lot line between them, which aligns with their site plan for their proposed preliminary plat, which has not been submitted yet. But so they were the ones that created those lot lines between the two.
So that's planned.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that was to facilitate this rezoning, just to make it so we weren't rezoning a portion of a lot. You had clean lots to rezone.
Understood. That makes more sense. I will also just comment while you're up there, just for the heck of it. We need these housings. We need housing. I certainly see there are reasons that maybe this wouldn't be seen as ideal, just given its proximity to industrial. But those white barn estates are right there, catty corner to that as well. So it's I don't think terribly out of place, but I do appreciate, and I think we probably all would say we appreciate the fact that folks are finding these parcels of land in town, because we desperately do need the housing, and are excited to see the opportunity for parcels like this to be developed, and hopefully we'll see more of these where folks are trying to find creative ways to put more places for people to live in Stillwater. So good work.
Thank you.
Further questions for staff? At this time, I will open the public hearing. If you'd like to share any additional comments that you have.
Thank you. No real additional comments. I just may add some of the numbers that we have for this one. So this other tract would be about 20.2 acres, and it would come out to a gross density of about 10.81 dwelling units per acre. So that would be right in between the 10 to 14. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you have. Thank you.
Councilors, any questions? Thank you. Thanks. I don't have anyone else signed up to speak on this item. Was anybody else wanting to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Henry, what was the recommendation?
Yes, sir. So on March 3rd, 2026, Planning Commission voted 4-0 to recommend that City Council approve the proposed map amendment.
Thank you, sir. Councilors?
Motion to accept Planning Commission's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation. Please vote. That item is approved with a vote of 5-0. Item 7C, receive public comment regarding a map amendment to rezone properties addressed as 3621 and 3605 North Prosperity Lane from general industrial to commercial shopping, CC-26-58. Did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, we do.
Mr. Biebelheimer.
Yes, sir. So we're looking at a map amendment to rezone the property, as you just said, at 3621 and 3605 North Prosperity Lane from IG or general industrial to CS or commercial shopping. Here's an aerial view of the property, which is on the southeast corner of Airport and Prosperity. The property is currently vacant. And here's the zoning where you can see the property, which is currently zoned IG and is surrounded by IG or general industrial. To the west, we have this commercial general sliver, which is on the west side of that railroad track. That is the property on the southeast corner of Perkins and Airport, which is the hub, which is recently opened. And this property, it's not zoomed out enough, but to the east over here is the property we just saw the rezoning for, which was on Jardot and Airport. So yeah, the future land use map has mixed use land density, land use proposed here. And I wanted a quick explanation of the land use category of mixed use. Because when you have your mixed use structures, like your downtown structures, you have commonly like your commercial on your first floor and your apartments above it. That would be like a mixed use structure. The mixed use as a land use category is not just saying that, it's not regulating the use of saying this has to be a mixed use structure. It's trying to regulate that area to become a mixed use type development. The way it was worded in the comprehensive plan was like a dynamic neighborhood. So the vibe is where people can live, work, and play all in one neighborhood. So with that in mind, the proposal is to rezone to CS or commercial shopping, which would fall under this neighborhood commercial, which is a 5 out of 5 on appropriate, with the considerations of most appropriate as ground floor retail and vertical mixed use space. The applicant is proposing to rezone to commercial shopping for a educational facility, primarily for industrial training at this location. So yeah, I was going to tie that in, but that could be that. So I'm open to answer any questions if you have any.
Well, why don't you explain why commercial shopping is appropriate for an educational facility?
Yes, sir. So an educational facility falls under the use category of educational services, which is not allowed in IG or general industrial. So it's allowed with a specific use permit in some instances in some different zoning districts, but CS or commercial shopping was one of the few that allowed it by right. So that was our proposal moving forward, also because it fell in line with that neighborhood commercial, which was appropriate in the mixed use comp plan. So that was kind of how we got the use to align with the comp plan for this location.
Okay, thank you.
Staff further, or council, further questions for staff? Or staff, questions for council?
Ask away.
Thank you, though.
Thank you, sir. At this point, I will open the public hearing. Do we have anybody that wants to make a comment on behalf of the applicant? You guys just here for observation? That's fine. You don't have to.
I might explain just a little bit. Well, Radiant Technology Center purchased that property back in October with the intent of, in the future, establishing a training facility. Currently, the growth that we're seeing out in that area, in terms of the industrial growth, in terms of the safety that we're doing for Manhattan construction, we identified that we would likely need a space in the near future there. And so we purchased the land, not realizing that under the current zoning, educational purposes was not allowed. So we consulted with staff, and they recommended that we go through and request the rezoning. And so our intent is to establish a training facility there sometime in the very near future.
Excellent. Much needed. We appreciate that. And you can also sell Meridian merch, right? Since it's commercial shopping. Counselor, is there anyone else here to speak on behalf or speak regarding this item? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Henry, is there a recommendation on the item?
Yes, sir. On March 24th, 2026, Planning Commission voted 4-0 to recommend that City Council approve the proposed map amendment.
Thanks, sir. Counselors?
Motion to accept the plan. Sorry. Motion to accept the Planning Commission recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. That item is approved with a vote of 5-0. Lots of building going on out there. That's going to be a very, very busy spot. All right. Takes us to item 8, ordinances on first read. Ordinance 3595, an ordinance rezoning attractive land located at 3020 North Jardo Road from general industrial to two-family multifamily from earlier this evening. Councilors?
I move to advance ordinance 3595 to second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3595 is advanced to second reading. Ordinance 3596, item B, is an ordinance rezoning attractive land located at 3398 North Jardo Road from general industrial to small lot single family, also from this evening. Councilors?
Motion to advance ordinance number 3596 to second read.
Second.
A motion and a second to advance. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3596 is advanced to second reading. Item C, ordinance number 3597, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of city-owned property. You know what? I'm going to skip item C and go to item D just for fun. Item D, ordinance number 3599, an ordinance rezoning attractive land located at 3621 and 3605 North Prosperity Lane from general industrial to commercial shopping. Just to get all of our rezonings from tonight in first.
Motion to advance ordinance 3599 to second read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to advance the ordinance. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3599 is advanced to second read. All right, I'll go back up to item C now. Item C is ordinance 3597, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of city-owned property located at 1224 North Husband Street, including a building commonly referred to as the City Auditorium or City Gym, to Independent School District Number 16 of Payne County, Oklahoma, providing for citizen-initiated referendum of said conveyance in accordance with Section 4-2 of the City Charter. This one's going to be fun.
So a city council did this 36 years ago, and here we are again tonight. So in 1990, the city council approved transfer of this property, and recently, in connection with improvements, school administration discovered that a deed was never recorded to effectuate that transfer. So this ordinance is corrective action that is needed. So approval of the ordinance will authorize conveyance of the property and authorize the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed that can be filed with the county.
So all of the contract stuff was done at the time, except we never filed a deed.
Yes, 36 years ago, an ordinance approving the transfer was approved. The school and the city council, the city entered into a real estate agreement. Minutes of the city council meeting and minutes of the school board meeting reflect that everybody approved the transfer. And as far as all of the documentation shows, everything in the real estate contract happened with the exception of the city filing a deed for the transfer of this specific property.
And this was part of a larger set of transactions. This wasn't just a land transfer. This was, we acquired what is now the community center. There was some cash exchange. This wasn't just us giving something away.
That's right. There was an exchange of property. There was an exchange of some money. There was a 99-year lease. Everything happened except for filing a deed to transfer this specific property.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's fix it.
Yes.
Counselors, questions, further comments, or action on ordinance 3597?
I got to ask, how do we figure this out that it didn't happen?
They're trying to tear it down.
The school discovered it.
Okay.
That's what title searches are for.
Okay.
Motion to advance ordinance, wait, make sure I'm on the right one. Motion to advance ordinance number 3597 to second read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to advance the ordinance. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3597 is advanced to second reading. Takes us down to item E, ordinance number 3600, an ordinance amending Chapter 34, Public Art Program of the Stillwater City Code by amending Section 34-5, Stillwater Public Art Committee, to clarify voting and non-voting members and to establish that 4 voting members shall constitute a quorum, repealing all ordinances to the contrary and providing for severability.
So this ordinance just provides clarification as to the membership of that Stillwater Public Art Committee, that there are voting and non-voting members, and that it establishes a quorum at 4.
All right, thank you. Counselors.
Motion to advance ordinance number 3600 to second read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3600 is advanced to second reading. On second reading, we have ordinance 3594, an ordinance amending the Stillwater City Code, Chapter 23, Land Development Code, Article 6, Land Use Classifications, Division 4, Commercial District, Section 23-152, CB, Commercial Business District, repealing all ordinances to the contrary and providing for severability. Counselors.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 3594.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3594 is adopted. Item 9 is appointments to the aforementioned Stillwater Public Art Committee. We've received several applications, and I am going to, so we've got sort of 3 different levels here. We're going to appoint to 3-year terms, 2-year terms, and 1-year terms so that there's a rotation on this brand new board. And I will move that I can do them all together, right? I'm going to move that we appoint Christy Morrison, Sarah Brown, and Barry Fuchsa to 3-year terms, which will expire in April of 2029. Kristen Olds, Valerie Bloodgood to 2-year terms, which will expire in April of 28, and Tim Hodges and Katie Bean to 1-year terms that will expire in April of 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to make these appointments. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, those individuals are appointed to the Stillwater Public Art Committee. We really appreciate their service and look forward to wonderful public art to emerge from that committee. Thanks so much. Christy, you guys are going to be drawing stuff yourselves, right? You're not the artist? Okay. All right. Item 10, reports from the officers and the board. Ms. Carnley.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Moore.
Yes, we have great news. It's actually from today. The Oklahoma Transportation Commission approved a 4-way stop at Airport Road and Perkins Road at the intersection there. Where the new hub is. That's been an intersection that needs improvement, and we're grateful for the redesign and the construction that's going to be upcoming for a brand new signalized intersection there. In the meantime, due to just the traffic counts and increases, ODOT, we've been working with ODOT, and ODOT agreed and took it to their board for approval to have it converted to 4-way stops. So that will happen soon. There's been warning signs out there preparing people for the 4-way stops, and so It's a great improvement. It's really exciting to see, as Mayor mentioned in our previous rezonings, all the work and the construction and the growth out in that area. And it's exciting to see a safer intersection coming.
Do we know when the signalized intersection will start, like that work?
It's in design right now, as you know. We are appreciative. I'll say it. Google, the data center company, is taking on that full expense. The traffic study showed that each of them and the tribe and ODOT also admitted that they need to participate in this just due to the geometry of the intersection over the years of laying lots of asphalt. And Google went ahead and stepped up and said that they would take on the full cost of the design and construction, which should expedite things. We'll review it. ODOT will review it as those designs come in, and then construction will occur hopefully within the next year.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor.
April is Arts Month here in Stillwater, and there's no shortage of activities for residents to take part in. These include Color the Block, which is next Saturday, April 11th at Block 34, where visitors can help create a community mural. Free admission to the OSU Museum of Art's Guildhall exhibition, which features works by Andy Warhol and Jackson Pollock. That's impressive and exciting to have here in Stillwater. The reveal of Chris Salmon Plaza's newest mural edition on April 24th. So those presentation that we saw earlier today with the students, a reveal of one of those murals. And the Stillwater Arts Festival at the Prairie Arts Center, April 17th and 18th. For more information about Arts Month activities and our city's public art, go to stillwaterart.org.
Awesome. Thank you. Councilor Hawkins.
We're excited to welcome artists and visitors to Stillwater this week for Stoked, a premier music event that unites the city and OSU in celebration of our musical roots. Enjoy live performances across town all week leading up to the return of the Boys from Oklahoma at Boone Pickens Stadium. More information, including a schedule of performances, can be found at stokedmusic.com.
Excellent. It's going to be a fun week. Councilor Clark.
In commemoration of our nation's semi-sesquicentennial, or our 250th birthday.
Say that again.
Say it again, semi-sesquicentennial. We're extending this year's Independence Day celebrations. Join us on Thursday, July 2 at Block 34 for America's Birthday Party. Then come to Boomer Lake Park on Friday, July 3 for our annual fireworks show. That leaves Saturday, July 4 open for a full day of celebration with family and friends. Stillwater's 2026 4th of July plans promise to be bigger and better than ever. As we get closer to July, more information will be shared on the city's social media channels and website, so be sure to follow at StillwaterOKGov on Instagram and Facebook, and bookmark stillwaterok.gov/boomerblast. Also, City Hall will be closed Monday, July 6th in observation of the holiday, so the staff can have some time with their family and friends too.
Excellent. Thanks so much. That's going to be fun. Councilor Harden.
Mark your calendars for the annual let's try it again, for the annual Household Hazardous Waste Event. Say that again real fast. Semi-sesquicentennial. Yeah, whatever that was. The annual Household Hazardous Waste Event, Saturday, April 25th from 8 to 1 at the Convenience Collection Center. Opportunity to dispose of oil-based paint, pesticides, herbicides, mixed fuels, other hazardous materials, all at no cost. The Convenience Center is located at 807 South Perkins Road. Will also be open for business during this event. For a full list of items that will be accepted, go to stillwaterok.gov/HHW.
All right. Thank you so much. I will offer my congratulations, all of our congratulations, to the Stillwater Electric Utility for earning the American Public Power Association's Award of Excellence for Safe Operating Practices. Each year, the APPA recognizes utilities across the nation that have low incident rates and outstanding safety programs and culture. Stillwater was granted Diamond status, the highest award given by APPA. Stillwater is one of just 39 utilities given Diamond status in that category, which is classified as 110,000 to 250,000 worker hours of exposure. Stillwater Electric Utility Director Lauren Smith said this award reflects the steadfast commitment to protecting the workforce and exemplary leadership within the public power community. Congratulations again to the Stillwater Electric Utility on this well-deserved recognition. I also want to just quickly say thanks to our IT staff for replacing the vice mayor's mic. That was
Appreciate
an
it
issue.
very much.
And also, just wish Godspeed to the 4 astronauts who are circling the far side of the moon tonight, the farthest that humans have ever been away from Earth. So that's really cool. And I know a couple teenagers in my house that are watching with bated breath just about every minute of the NASA live feed. So good luck to them. Anything further? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the city council. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater City Council will now be adjourned. This time I will call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting for April 6, 2026. Trustees, questions, comments, or action on the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. There's nothing further on this agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the SUA. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the Stillwater Utilities Authority is now adjourned, and that concludes our meetings for this evening.